Welcome back to the First Turn Gaming channel. This is Llama Paints Minis. And just like I did in my previous video, I am working with a set of Kimera Color paints. Whereas in the first video I did the base set, this is the expansion set 1. Now, they haven't made an expansion set 2 yet, but this is a pretty robust expansion set. At first I was a little skeptical of what the direction was with this one because so many of the colors happen to be like brown, ochre, yellow kind of vein. And they range from really cold browns like this first color you're seeing up there, the oxide brown dark, oxide brown medium, and oxide brown light. And then they get really warm and even into the red. With some colors you'll see later that really these are some of my favorite already. I really like the way these performed. I really like the way they looked. And I could see how I could get some pretty wild effects. Like with these oxide browns, I might base a lot of my warmer bone colors with these going forward. And then again in this video, I've just got the watercolor paper with a simple grid drawn out and the dark lines so you can see the transparency. And just diluting them with water. What surprised me again with this set, much like the base set, is that when diluted with water, I expected the pigment to sort of break because there's not really anything that's like emulsifying it like you would get in most hobby paints, but it actually holds the value. These hold the value really well, even when heavily diluted in water. This set is mostly transparent, translucent. There wasn't as much opacity as there was with a couple of the colors from the base set, but you could use these to your advantage in that way. Take advantage of the transparency. And what I mean when I say that is, maybe instead of starting with a dark undercoat and trying to build up the layers of color and the volumes that way, you can start from a light undercoat, a light gray, an off-white warm like a bone color, or an off-white cold like a bright, well, again, a bright gray or even a white. And then you can use these to tint or alter, glaze, or kind of perform even like a contrast paint or an ink. I think these would do really well with that style. Now that color you see me putting up there is just quite simply one of my favorites in the entire set. And that is the Diary Lied Yellow. It is a rich golden yellow, almost like a kind of farm fresh egg yolk sort of look, if that makes sense to you. It does have some transparency, but it was a very smooth application. I can see myself using that going forward for a lot of different things. It might replace the Vallejo yellow that I had used before. And then with these, at least that first grouping of paints, you could really work on some NMM gold or NMM bronze or brass with these paints. I think it gives you enough variety with these that with some clever mixing and matching, maybe the inclusion of some black or white, which I do plan to show in another video, is ways to use these beyond just straight or with just water. We'll show how they mix with the inclusion of black or white or some mediums. And really, the limit is endless. That's the key with these paints, is they kind of let you as the artist decide how to use them. They are thicker, they are a bit more full body. And so I might also, in the near future, show how they perform next to, say, an artist or tube acrylic paint. A couple of different brands out there. And again, you're seeing some of these colors are really unique. I didn't see the difference between all the browns and yellows, but then I started putting them out there, and they really were interesting. Like that sort of Mars orange was kind of neat. This next one coming up is one of my favorites also. It was the Royal Brown. It was a very reddish, but almost chocolatey kind of, you can see it there going on now. Really like that one. It gave me some ideas to do some leather values if I want it to lean a bit warmer. That plus the next color, which is the alizarin crimson. Those who grew up in the 80s and 90s maybe remember that always being a paint on Bob Ross's palette, the alizarin crimson, which I think is going to replace my burnt red that I used to use from Monument Hobbies, because I really like the look of this one too. very smooth, very good coverage. And again, this is just diluting with a little bit of water after the first stripe, so on a big fat brush. And I found that I had really nice control with these. Yeah, that's the alizarin crimson there. So not much else to really describe about these, because I think I explained most of the properties with the base set. But I wanted to show with these is like just the variety you can get with stuff that is sort of in the same value or same tone. I mean, those first, 9 colors were all very much in the like brown and ochre ranges, and yet a lot of difference between them. This color going up here, the purple, and it's just called purple. It looks a lot in the bottle like the magenta from the base set, and I thought, what's the point of making this very redundant color? But then when I put it on the palette here, as you can see that when the water thins it out a little bit, and then in the following stripes after that first one, it leans ever so slightly blue. And so that really differentiates it from the magenta, which is more like a warm purple / cold red. So yeah, pretty exciting stuff there. And again, I'm going to do a video as well as hopefully something that you guys can have maybe downloadable that will show how the colors in the base set as well as this expansion set can be mixed with black or white to create literally every kind of value and opacity you could want. And that's the point of these two sets together. And so, and that one right there, the toluidine red, I hope I'm saying that right, is just so like, it's almost orangish, but it's just very fire engine. That might replace my red also, as like the red I was using before, which I think was from, I don't remember what brand I have, but I really liked that one. And then the color choices shift here in this expansion set. We all of a sudden go into a trio of kind of blues and a blue-green. Now, I don't know about you, but I am a sucker for blue-greens. And this cobalt blue-green coming up after the ultramarine blue, which the ultramarine blue looks surprisingly like the Space Marines we all know. So that was nice to see. The cobalt blue-green, though, I love it. Absolutely love this. This sort of ocean reef-looking aquamarine kind of color. I absolutely adored it. I think that's going to become one of my favorites. Yeah, there it is. So anyway, yeah, you're seeing these all laid out. I hope you enjoy the post. If you want to get this set, much like the base set, you can follow the link that I've got down below, or you can go to dracoya.com, enter the code FTG for First Turn Gaming, FTG10, to save 10% on anything you buy there, models, brushes, or these paints. And then, yeah, if you have anything else you'd like to see, go ahead and leave a comment, or reach out to us on our Instagram pages. Mine is @LlamaPaintsMinis, and let us know, and I'd be happy to work it out for you. Until next time, keep those palettes going, and let me see what you come up with these paints.